guys, this is Michael V, and today we're going to be talking about Mortal Kombat the Live Tour.
Wow. Pretty tough crowd you hang with.
Yes, they are.
You know, Mortal Kombat the Live Tour is an odd thing to me because if you try to research it on the internet, you actually won't find a lot of information about this event. Luckily, as a child, I went to this stage show and I have the tour book right here. So I'm going to fill you guys in and tell you some about this really abstract event in the Mortal Kombat history. I remember first hearing about the Mortal Kombat Live Tour from the Combat Club. Basically, they had this VHS that had Mortal Kombat The Journey Begins. And at the beginning of the VHS, there was a bunch of commercials. And one of the commercials was really hype and it had this weird announcer voice that sounded like this, but it was for the Mortal Kombat Live Tour. And it turns out that they were actually going to be coming through my hometown of St. Louis, Missouri.
You've played it, you've watched it, now live it. Mortal Kombat, the Live Tour, coming soon.
I'd go as far to say that the Mortal Kombat Live Tour represents probably one of my most fond memories. I was about 8 years old when it came out, and my dad took me to the play. I remember it was in St. Louis. It was actually in the city. We had to take the Metrolink, which is like a suspended train, and we had to take the Metrolink to see the actual show. The stage show's general storyline is that Shao Kahn has come into Earth using Sindel's resurrection, just like in Mortal Kombat 3, and he's stealing the souls from Earthrealm. But in order to close the gates that Shao Kahn went through and send him back, the combatants need to collect 6 dragon medallions and assemble them in the Soul Chamber. Of course, the catch is that once they open the Soul Chamber, they only have 5 minutes to assemble the dragon medallions. And if they don't assemble them in time, then the gates are permanently open and Shao Kahn can take over Earth. Somewhere along the process, Johnny Cage is killed, Sonya Blade is captured, and the mortal form of Raiden is also destroyed by Shao Kahn himself. Now, for those of you who are very familiar with the Mortal Kombat storylines, it's really interesting that in 1995, this stage show had a story where you had to collect 6 medallions and assemble them in a set place in order to save the realms. When that's basically the exact same storyline of Mortal Kombat Deception. Because in Mortal Kombat Deception, Shujinko has to collect 6 medallions called the Kamidogu, and they're spread across the realms, and he has to assemble them in the Nexus in order to save the realms. It's a very, very similar storyline. I'm not saying that there's a connection between the two, but I'm also not saying that there's a connection between the two. In 1995, Mortal Kombat was a very violent game, but it's interesting that all of the media for Mortal Kombat, the stage show, the movie, the cartoon, the comic books, the action figures, they all were more directed towards kids. They didn't have any blood, they had a lot of morals injected into the storyline.
The violence has always been around, but what martial arts and this show has to present is all positive messages.
This show was in no way violent. It actually had a lot of amazing martial artists, including the very beautiful Carrie Hoskins, who played Sonya Blade in the Mortal Kombat 3 video game.
I started in gymnastics and I went into boxing, and now it's Tansudo.
Oh, yikes. Okay, yikes. Yeah, we'll let you live.
On top of it, there was also laser lights, which were really popular in the 90s as well. So when you went to the Mortal Kombat Live Tour, you got a Mortal Kombat storyline, you got to see some crazy cool martial arts, and then there's also the laser light show.
You also, in the show, reveal some secrets for people who are playing Mortal Kombat. Is that not right? You can find out secrets of how to go on further in the video game?
Definitely so, and that's only going to be shown as they come watch the live tour.
The one thing that really sticks out in my mind was there was a lot of really interesting collectibles there that I wish that I was older so that I would have gotten lots of them. For instance, they were selling these little miniature figures of the Mortal Kombat cast, you know, like a miniature Goro, a miniature Scorpion, a miniature Shao Kahn. They had these little tiny miniatures, and I'm talking they were, you know, they were an inch tall, and I've never seen those on eBay. I've never seen them around at all. My dad got me some, but of course, I'm 23 years old now. I don't know what happened to them. There was a Mortal Kombat Live Tour hat, they had coats, they had shirts. What I walked out of there with was with a Mortal Kombat Live Tour, a baseball cap, this tour book, and then also a couple of those little tiny action figures. To be completely honest, I don't remember if the show was any good. I can't really find any footage of it online to re-look at it and try to refresh my memory, which is one reason why I'm making this video, because I feel like there's no information about the Mortal Kombat Live Tour out there. So like I said, the Mortal Kombat Live Tour had a really special place in my childhood because, you know, I went to it with my dad and everything. So I thought I'd throw this video up just to let you guys in on one of the most obscure moments in Mortal Kombat history. So until next time, guys, I'm Michael V, and this is me talking about some really interesting, hard to find on the internet shit.